So, it was an ordinary evening. There were calm and contented people living in several village families. It would seem that nothing foreshadowed trouble. But one day, when the moon rose high above the horizon and the stars began to twinkle slowly, a strange noise was heard in the thicket of the forest. The villagers did not pay attention to this at first, but as the noise grew louder, people began to feel alarmed. Something incomprehensible was happening. It turned out that these nights were filled with fear due to the fact that, in strange cases, people disappeared. An investigation began, and as it turned out, the mysterious disappearances occurred on full moons. Many witnesses said that they saw some strange shadows similar to animals in the vicinity of the houses. No one could explain what it was until eyewitnesses appeared claiming to have seen vicious, disgusting, creepy werewolves. No one knew where they came from, but they caused fear and anxiety in the village. And now, when there is panic in the village because of these mysterious disappearances, the question remains open. Where did they come from? Why are they attacking people? And how to stop them? There is an unfinished creepy twist at this point in the story. Every night reminds the village of the coming of the full moon and the danger that lies in wait. What will happen next? How can people protect themselves from these evil werewolves? Will they be able to solve the mystery that lies behind this overnight terrorist attack? And no matter how much they try, they don't know what really caused these scary creatures to appear among them. The future holds the answers, but so far only a terrible shadow surrounds this peaceful village. After the previous werewolf attacks, the villagers decided to get together to discuss how to defend themselves from these sinister creatures. They conducted night patrols, fortified houses, and even asked for help from a local witcher known for his knowledge of dark creatures lurking in the depths of the forest. But the more they tried to defend themselves, the more violent and aggressive the werewolf attacks became. Meanwhile, a mysterious wanderer appeared in the village, who claimed to know where these terrible creatures came from. He told about the ancient curse that hung over these places, about the bloody revenge and the secret that had been forgotten for many generations. He claimed that only he knew how to rid the village of this evil, but he demanded a high price for his help. At that time, not only people began to disappear, but also livestock, and in a very strange way. It soon became apparent that the werewolves were not just attacking the villagers, but were also trying to destroy all their livelihoods, draining every resource at their disposal. Fear and despair gripped their inhabitants. Their village literally found itself locked in its own perimeter, as if an invisible cocoon of fear had been created. Now the villagers found themselves in a dire situation, when every night brought new attacks by werewolves. But the mystery and origin of these sinister creatures still remained unsolved. As time passed, the horrific attacks of the werewolves continued. The villagers were on the verge of despair, their hope almost gone, when a young woman named Elaine suddenly appeared. She claimed to know about the origins of the werewolves and the nature of their curse. She was talking about an ancient vow, a family curse that had to be broken to free the village from darkness and fear. Elaine, despite everything, did not offer to bargain for her knowledge or help. She claimed that her mission was to cure this curse selflessly, and she longed to save the village from destruction. Everyone was skeptical of this woman at first, but with each new attack, the disappearance became more exhaustive, and the fears became more real. Elaine stated that in order to break the curse, it is necessary to perform a ritual in a secret place located deep in the heart of the forest, and pull out the darkest secret, hidden a long time ago. But to do this, you need to collect a number of artifacts, including ancient scrolls, rare plants, and other mystical objects hidden throughout the village. Now the villagers faced a difficult task: to find all the necessary artifacts before the next full moon, when the curse was supposed to reach its peak. Some believed in Elaine's words, others doubted her true intentions. However, everyone was unanimous in one thing: the hope of salvation was closer than it seemed. Meanwhile, the last remaining inhabitants of the forest reported that the werewolves began to behave even more aggressively, as if some invisible force was reinforcing their attacks. Vague rumors about the village's past began to surface, and gradually it became clear that previous generations had faced this curse, kept it a secret, hoping that it would never return. After the villagers heard from Elaine about the need to collect a number of artifacts to break an ancient vow, the hunt for mysterious objects began. Various artifacts turned out to be scattered throughout the village, among forgotten deposits, lost in misty caves and secret places that the Jinn of Magic abandoned for many years. In addition, each artifact had its own legend hidden in the meager records of long-gone generations, which added even more mystery and excitement to the adventure. At this time, strange events began to occur in the village. Someone specially strengthened the old government special services, carefully hiding unnecessary details from prying eyes. Either this was a precautionary measure, or the threat really caused alarm among the highest echelons of power. Soon they talk about Ulrika, an ancient witch who once lived in this area. The services were managed by the strangest jokes of fate, cursed because of her too naughty nature. Some suspect that it was she who formed the basis of the dark vow that still holds the poor village in its clutches. But what made her make such a depressing choice? Why did circumstances force her to join the dark forces crowned with a bloody vow? All this happened in parallel with the fact that several residents began to recall ancient legends that had been hidden from them, and doubted how sincere their ancestors were with them. The fear that the curse caused was melting away in the face of mounting questions about the past and present, which called into question the very idea of trust and loyalty. How fascinating this story is developing. After several long days and nights of searching, confusing unrest and discussions of long-forgotten legends, the villagers suddenly found ancient scrolls hidden in the abandoned basement of an old church. In these scrolls there was a record of a long-standing vow and its curse, about the days and nights of Ulrika, who lived alone within those walls, which eventually led to the village being in the center of a sinister secret hidden from everyone. Knowledge about the past began to unfold like a mosaic before the eyes of the inhabitants, leading them to know questions and dangers that could lie at the roots of old fears and misunderstandings. It turned out that the curse generated by the vow was not the accidental result of revenge or pain. It was an insidious act of ancient magic that was supposed to disrupt the harmony of the world and make it suffer in anxiety and suffering. At this time, the mysterious stranger who had previously offered to help the village suddenly disappeared. Without his help, collecting artifacts and spiritual rituals to break the curse began to seem impossible. It became clear that the events of solving the mystery and performing the ritual required a deep understanding of dark magic and the power that connected the past and the present. However, at a critical moment, when hope was fading, a new figure appeared in the village, the old junk of a merchant who is reputed for his ancient connections with the world of the unknown and the unknown. But what makes him in these places, and what kind of mysterious past is he hiding? Could he be the key to solving the curse? What follows may be darker than anyone could have expected, and may bring new questions instead of answers. So what's going to happen next? Will the villagers be able to unravel the mystery of the vow and the curse that has been holding them for many years? And what secrets and secret powers will be discovered during this confusing quest? Stay in our fascinating story, because we are still on the way to unraveling this intriguing and dark world. Suddenly, while all hope seemed to be fading, an ancient merchant revealed a long-forgotten riddle that turned out to be the key to breaking the curse. He led the villagers to the ruins of an ancient temple, where an ancient sanctuary was found in a deep cave, where the secret of the vow and its curses were sewn into the most ancient scrolls. There, the villagers had a choice: to reveal the secret of the vow and free the village from a terrible curse in spite of all fear and danger, or accept an ancient treaty and continue to live in the shadow of an ominous vow, forever leaving yourself in chains of fear and darkness. After many hours of self-struggle, each villager, inside his heart, made his choice. They decided to fight fear, take the path of courage and determination to break the curse all the way to the ritual that was supposed to clear the dark shadows of the past. However, when they entered the ancient sanctuary, anticipating the solution, they were greeted by an otherworldly sight. The scroll that contained the secret of the vow, covered with long-corroded time, was empty. In its place, only the words forgiveness and healing remained. At the same time, an intriguing wonder who disappeared at the most critical moment returned with treasures that no one could have thought of. It turned out that he was the guardian of the souls imprisoned in this sanctuary, and through the ancient ritual of their liberation, they were able to start living again. Dark werewolves transformed before the eyes of the inhabitants, becoming radiant spirits who remained the defenders of the village, protecting it from evil and fear. The curse was broken, and every day the village became stronger, united thanks to the common ordeal. This place was still shrouded in mystery and history, which was hidden from view. But the road to a new future was open. The villagers realized that their strength lies in harmony, wisdom and conciliarity. And although ancient secrets and curses still remain a beneficial shadow over their home, they have learned that in creating the future, sometimes the vastness of forgiveness, trust and hope mean more. That's how this fascinating story ended, but who knows what might happen in the future. After all, the world is full of secrets and adventures, and each new story can lead to even more exciting discoveries.